Hi, my name is Rick Love. This is my wife, Patti. I grew up in Calgary. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a pastor. And so that led me to go to Bible college, seminary, pastoral ministry in Calgary for a few years, and then eventually did a PhD in Old Testament. So I became an Old Testament professor, which I did for 19 years in the Philippines and then in Canada.
And I grew up in Brandon, Manitoba. I graduated from Bible college and from seminary with a master's in intercultural studies. And then I got another master's degree in teaching English language. Rick and I, as he said, were international workers in the Philippines for about 11 years. I taught English language at the seminary there. One year we were back in Canada for a few months, and one of our church leaders said, let's think outside the box. What are ways that we can reach more people in Alberta for Jesus Christ? And I remember telling Rick, okay, if we ever came back from the Philippines, I would want to do pastoral work at our home church, welcoming new Canadians in our neighborhood and sharing God's love with them. And at the same time, our lead pastor at church was shopping at Superstore one day, and all of a sudden it dawned on him, oh my goodness, the people shopping with me at Superstore do not look like the people worshiping with me at church. And we really need to get on the ball with welcoming more newcomers to Canada into our church. And so they hired me actually in 2006 to be pastor of intercultural ministry at our church. And then a few years went by and I realized that a lot of other churches were asking, what are you guys doing? Can you help us do what you're doing at your church to welcome new Canadians?
And we knew we had to do something, but honestly, we just didn't have enough faith. We couldn't figure out the financial part of it. We ended up reading the book, The Cause Within You, Finding the One Great Thing God Created You to Do in This World. It's written by Matthew Barnett and George Barna. Matthew Barnett was the co-founder of the Dream Center in Los Angeles. And honestly, I just found the book so motivational, so encouraging. Matthew Barnett took amazing steps in ministry by faith with no idea of how God would supply the finances. So in 2014, we decided to start Love New Canadians, even though we had no idea how the finances would work out. So what we do is we help Christian faith communities, churches, experiment with the ministry model that we began at our home church. We equip churches for ministry with immigrants through coaching, seminars, and using the 20 books of curriculum we've written. And so far, through the grace and mercy of God, we've worked with more than 580 churches and ministries from 9 provinces of Canada and 18 countries around the world. I wanted to tell you about one story about a man, I'm going to call him David. David came and he was new to Canada and he was looking for help learning English. So he started to come to our ESL classes. And over time, he showed spiritual curiosity. We invited him to our class. We call it our ESL Bridges class, which is a gentle introduction to faith. And so he came to those classes, and now he's moved on to ESL Bible studies. And I saw him today. He's attending an Alpha class at our church. And we're just so thankful for the work God is doing in his life. And we're trusting God to see what's going to happen in his life, in the life of his family, as he's learning more about Jesus and learning what it means to be a follower of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Excellent. Okay. And anything to add?
I think that's great. I think it's
Okay.